At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive on someone who I'm sure you've heard of.
Yeah, Serena
Williams.
Serena Williams, all right.
But we're not just going to talk about, her incredible tennis career, because I think pretty much everyone knows about that.
Yeah.
We're going beyond the court. We're going off the court and seeing kind of what else is out there, what else is captivating people's attention when it comes to Serena.
Absolutely.
And I think you're going to be surprised by some of the stuff that we found.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, she's so much more than just an athlete, right?
Wow.
Icon, cultural force, businesswoman, all of these things. And people want to know about all of it.
And we're going to find out. I mean, we've got like a mountain of internet searches here.
Yeah.
And the stuff that people are searching for, like you said, it goes way beyond just her tennis game.
Oh, yeah, way beyond.
So are you ready to get into it?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, so, I mean, right off the bat, one of the things that really jumped out at me was all the searches about her and Drake.
Drake, yeah.
Like Serena Williams, Drake, Serena Williams and Drake relationship. When did Serena and Drake break up? Like, people really want to know
They really want
the details of this.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because it's not just like idle curiosity, right? There's something about this pairing that really captures people's imaginations. I mean, you have these two figures, both at the top of their respective fields, both, super talented, super famous, and maybe there's this sense that they would be this power couple, right? And there's sort of this mystery surrounding it all. There are rumors, there are whispers, there are, sightings, but nothing concrete.
Yeah.
So I think that just adds to the intrigue.
Like they want to confirm or deny.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like what really happened, so to speak.
Exactly.
All right, so moving on. I mean, we also saw a lot of searches about, her family. And I think a lot of this stems from, her very close relationship with her sister Venus.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't talk about Serena without talking about Venus, right?
Right.
They're a package deal. People search for Venus Williams, Serena Williams siblings, and it's clear that there's a fascination with their bond.
Their story?
Yeah, their shared history. They came up together.
Yeah, I mean, they basically grew up on the tennis court together.
Exactly. And that shared history, facing those challenges together, supporting each other, pushing each other to be better. I mean, that's a powerful story.
It is. I mean, and you also see the searches for, Serena Williams' sister killer, which kind of brings in, unfortunately, a really, really tragic element to their family's story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's important to acknowledge that even though they are these incredibly successful, public figures,
right,
they've also faced a lot of pain and hardship.
Real life, yeah.
Yeah, real life. And I think that resonates with people.
It does.
Because it reminds us that, no one is immune to tragedy, no matter how famous or how successful you are.
Right. Okay, so you ready for maybe a bit of a curveball here?
Okay, hit me.
All right, so we saw a lot of searches, and this one I really did not expect. A lot of searches related to the Crip Walk.
The Crip Walk, huh?
I know, right? Like Serena Williams' Crip Walk. Serena Williams' Crip Walk, Wimbledon. So for those who might not know, the Crip Walk, it originated, in L.A. gang culture.
Right.
And it has been, quite controversial when it's been, how do I say this? When it's been adopted or used by people outside of that culture.
Or appropriated.
Yeah, appropriated. Thank you.
And it's understandable, right? It's a dance move with a very specific and very loaded history.
Right.
And so when you see someone like Serena, a global icon doing this dance, it raises a lot of questions. I mean, what was her intention? What message was she trying to send it? And how was it received by different audiences?
Yeah, and I think this kind of leads into, Serena's always been someone who, whether intentional or not, is pushing boundaries and sparking a conversation.
Always at the center of the conversation.
And sometimes even controversy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's part of what makes her so fascinating.
Right.
She's not afraid to be herself.
Right.
Even if it makes people uncomfortable.
Right. Okay, so speaking of, kind of these public appearances, there was a lot of interest in her Super Bowl appearance.
Super Bowl, yeah.
So we saw searches like Serena Williams Super Bowl. Why was Serena Williams in the halftime show? But just to be clear, she wasn't actually in the halftime show.
Right.
But she was in a Super Bowl commercial.
Yes, a very high-profile Super Bowl commercial for Michelob Ultra.
Right, alongside a bunch of other, really powerful,
amazing female athlete.
So I think it's really interesting. Like, it shows how she's like transcending, just the world of tennis.
Absolutely. I mean, she's become this symbol, this representative for women in sports, for Black women, for excellence.
Right. And then last but not least, we have to talk about her husband, Alexis Ohanian.
Right.
And I think
a lot of searches for him.
A lot of searches for him. And I think, people are just really, really curious about her life off the court and who she chose to share her life with.
Yeah. I mean, they want the full picture, right?
Yeah.
And Alexis Ohanian is a fascinating figure in his own right. I mean, successful tech entrepreneur, co-founder of Reddit, vocal advocate for parental leave, for social justice issues.
So it's not just like he's just, arm candy or whatever. He's just a force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I mean, I think it's safe to say that, Serena Williams is way more than just a tennis player.
Oh, absolutely.
She's a cultural icon.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is how she navigates that, right?
Right.
I mean, she's constantly in the spotlight, and there's this intense scrutiny on everything she does, everything she says, who she's with, what she wears. I mean, it's relentless.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, like, how does she do it?
Yeah.
How does she, like, deal with that pressure and still, like, manage to dominate her sport?
Yeah, how do you maintain that focus, that drive, that excellence with all of that noise?
Yeah.
It's really remarkable. That's something to think about.
It is. I mean, it's a tightrope walk.
It is.
That very few people can successfully, do.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's one of a kind.
So we've talked a lot about, all these different facets of Serena's life, her relationships, the controversies, her family, her business ventures.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm left with, and what I hope our listeners are left with, is just this question of, like, how does she handle it all? How does someone like Serena navigate the intense scrutiny of her personal life while simultaneously just dominating her field?
Yeah. I mean, it's a question that probably only Serena herself can answer, right?
Right.
But it's something to think about, right? It's a testament to her strength, to her resilience, to her ability to compartmentalize, to focus.
So much to unpack there.
Oh, yeah, so much.
And I think that's really the big takeaway here. Serena's story is a reminder that, even the most famous, the most successful people are complex human beings with layers and nuances and contradictions.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes her so compelling, right? Because she challenges our expectations, she keeps us guessing, she keeps us talking, and that's the mark of a true icon, I think.
It is. So there you have it, folks. Serena Williams, a cultural force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
And I think this is just the beginning of the conversation, right? There's always more to explore, more to learn. And I have a feeling that Serena's going to keep us all of our toes for many years to come.
I think you're right about that.
All right, that's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
26 at thanks.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.